Welcome to Murder with the Missus. I'm Darren.
And I'm Amy, and today we're going to tell you about Madeline Soto.
And don't forget to go and check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Podbean, and of course, go and check us out on Facebook. Like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that little bell on there. That way you guys get the notification showing when a new episode drops. And also, as always, tell your friends.
Tell your friends. You sound really professional.
I try.
Good job. Here's one that is blowing up right now due to the arrest and arraignment of a real piece of shit. I've been following this one since it started, and I'm happy it's progressing. It's so hard on everyone involved when a case goes cold or stalls out. In case you don't know what this case is about, then trigger warning for sexual abuse of a child. We're talking about 13-year-old Madeline, who lived in Kissimmee, Florida with her mom, Jennifer Soto, in an apartment or condo complex. It's referred to both, but I believe it's actually a condo. Jennifer was in a long-time relationship with a man named Stephen Stearns, who is 37 years old. Madeline turned the big 13 on February 22nd of 2024, which was a Thursday. So they had her birthday party on Sunday, the 25th, at Jennifer's mom's house. It was just a small get-together with a few family members and two of her friends. Her mom wasn't there because she was working from 2 to 10 that day. Some find this odd, that she wouldn't have taken off for a milestone birthday, or at least planned it on a day when she didn't have to work. So make of that whatever you will. Jennifer said that night, after the party, her and Madeline talked about it and how much she loved her gifts. Madeline would disappear the next day. And here's where Mom fucked up. She said in an interview with local news, "We dropped her off at the school, close to the school. She wanted to walk the rest of the way." The we in her story is Jennifer and Stephen. And by close to school, she's talking about a nearby church. But literally, in the same interview, she said, "I wasn't the one who took her to school in the morning." Well, did you or didn't you? She told the police that she woke up tired and asked Stephen to take her, so he did. She stayed home. She told the police that she hadn't seen her that day, that the last time she saw her was the night before when they talked about the birthday party.
But she changed that too. Now she's saying that she saw her getting ready for school that morning about 8 a.m.
Right. So she's already changing her story immediately. Like I said, that one was in the same interview. She completely changed it. It is clear in these interviews that Stephen did not stay at the apartment on Sunday night, though. So she likely had to call him after she woke up to ask him to take her to school. So it'll be interesting to see what time she made that call. Multiple agencies have taken statements from her, so they are now comparing and contrasting the differences. Fear is that she is covering up something or that she knows more than she is saying. I can say that I really hope not, and I will say that she hasn't been charged with anything to date. But in this case, things change fast. Stephen is a different story. His statement to the police and local news say that he drove her to school that day and she slept most of the way. And at approximately 8:25 to 8:40 a.m., he dropped Madeline off approximately 1 block away from the school. After she got out of the car, he told her to have a good day at school and that he loved her. Madeline said, "Thanks, I love you too." As he drove off, he noticed Madeline looking through her backpack, which was not unusual because she usually looked through her bag to find headphones so that she could put them on before going to school. He headed towards home and attempted to stop at a vape shop for vape juice, but it was closed, so he went home to Kissimmee. He was home for about an hour before he went back to the vape shop and then ran errands. He stated he returned home and stayed home at approximately 2:30.
Jennifer went to pick up Madeline from school at around 4:30 and found out that she didn't show up for school at all that day.
Right. She never showed up. She never went to first class.
Yeah.
Now, 3 911 calls were made by Jennifer's sister and her mother, it is believed. It has not been made public who exactly called 911, but the first two sound like possibly the sister, with the last one sounding more like the mom. We also don't know the times that these calls were made because I haven't seen anything released showing that yet, even though they released the actual audio. Total, they run about 7 minutes, so we won't be able to play them from here, but in the first call, it is reporting the missing child. The operator asks what she was wearing, and the caller has to spend a little time trying to find out, maybe from Jennifer, but eventually is able to give the information. She is pretty calm in this call, not frantic, which may be why she made the call and not Jennifer. By the way, she was last seen in a green hoodie, black shorts, and white Crocs. The second call, she asked the operator how long it will be, And the operator says that they have the call holding, but if there's a big emergency, they won't have available deputies to respond, and a deputy would get to them as soon as they could. The caller says that she has been missing since 8 a.m., so that shows the version of the story where Jennifer actually did see her getting ready for school that morning, and they are trying to get everyone there as soon as possible. The third call shows the frustration. The operator says they are waiting for a deputy to respond, and she says, "So this is not important for you guys? Really?" Oof. And based on the timeline of when a deputy actually meets with the family, it shows that it was at 8 p.m.
So from 4:30, when they realized she was missing, until 8 o'clock, that's a long time,
It's almost 4 hours.
When there's a missing child, that's quite a while.
Yeah, I mean, especially when they know that she hasn't been seen since that morning.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking 12 hours later, and they finally respond to it. That's sad. But a deputy did finally show up, and a search as well as an investigation starts. They're doing canvasses in the area. They bring in a bloodhound. The next day, which is Tuesday the 27th, they put out a missing poster, and Jennifer and sometimes Stefan is in the interviews. Sometimes he is just lurking in the background while Jennifer is talking to the news reporter. The investigation part is in full swing. They're pulling surveillance footage and looking into those close to her. Stefan, Jennifer, and Jennifer's mom all said in different TV interviews that Madeline was seen on a grainy surveillance video from a church that was across the street from where she was dropped off that morning. They say that around 9 a.m., you see her walking towards the school. Then she lingers in the parking lot of the church where she was dropped off for a few minutes, then starts walking towards the school again. The police have never mentioned this video. By Wednesday night, Stefan is arrested. Leapt right into that, right? Well, you see, when investigating the phones of everyone, they saw some things on Stefan's phone that were disgusting. He was charged with sexual battery and for having child abuse material on his phone. It comes out that there is proof on the phone not only of him abusing Madeline, but also that he did a factory reset on his phone sometime on the 26th, the day Madeline went missing.
Based on their investigation, police say that at the time he said he dropped her off at school that day, she was actually already dead.
Right. So surveillance footage showed Stefan throwing stuff in the dumpster at that complex. Actually, let's break that down a little better in the timeline for that day. And I like a timeline. That'll be much easier to follow, I think. And here's what the cops know. At 7:35 a.m., there's video evidence of Stefan throwing stuff into the dumpster, and police later recovered Madeline's backpack and school-issued laptop from that dumpster. At around 7:50 a.m., Stefan drives the direction of the school. Now, there's nothing showing that he went to the school or the church. He just went in that direction. This is also the direction of Jennifer's mother's house, too. At 8:10 and 8:19 a.m., Stefan drives back to the complex. Madeline is visible in the car with him when they get into the parking lot. But whatever they saw on the surveillance video makes them believe that she is not alive. From 1 to 2:30 p.m., video evidence shows Stefan driving the car in the area of State Route 192 and Old Hickory Tree and Nolte Roads. Someone also reportedly saw him changing a flat tire on his car in this area around this time. The person who says he saw them that day actually saw one of the press conferences that the police did and realized that this was Stefan he saw changing the tire, so he called and reported it. They were able to pull a license plate reader and see that he was on that road, and Madeline's body was found on March 1st at around 4:30 p.m. in a wooded area off Hickory Tree Road. This was 20 miles away from her home. Earlier that morning, Stefan had been moved from Orange County to Osceola County, and if I pronounced that wrong, I'm very sorry. And on March 12th, he got slapped in the face with 60, that's 60, new charges. There were 8 counts of sexual battery of a child under 12, 5 counts of sexual battery of a child aged 12 to 18, 7 counts of lewd and lascivious molestation, and 40 counts of unlawful possession of materials depicting sexual performance by a child, 10 or more images. Each of these 40 counts show 10 or more images. So if my math is math, that's around 400 images in his possession. He's going to have a very short stay in prison with charges like these. He should be more worried about prison justice than whatever sentence he's about to get. And he's up for capital murder, while most hope that he gets the death penalty. I don't think he's going to make it there.
He was charged with first-degree murder on April 24th.
Yeah, so a lot of people were like, why did it take them so long to charge him in her murder? But, I mean, they have their proof that they need for the sexual abuse, but they had to make sure that they had a really good case for the murder.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, why is it just murder? Why is it not, everything else, the abuse, the sexual abuse, everything?
Yeah.
The child porn.
Well, they got him on the porn first, and then that gave them enough to hold him while they did their investigation, and then they were able to finally lock down that murder charge, because they don't want to go in all willy-nilly and miss something.
They need to make sure that
they're
like
trying.
You said, they need to make sure that he's never going to see the light of day again.
I don't think he will.
But you're right.
And not because of them.
Because they don't like child predators in prison too much. So.
No, not even close. Now, he waived his arraignment at court on April 29th. Pretrial is set for July 10th, with jury trial set for July 16th, according to court records. For the sixth shit, he has a jury date of August 19th. Because of Florida laws, the autopsy will not be released due to it involving a minor whose death was related to an act of domestic violence. And there is a lot of speculation on this case, as there will be, since it's pretty widely covered due to the circumstances. So you have web sleuths, pod chair detectives like us, and just the general public piecing this thing together. Some of that speculation is that she was actually killed sometime after the birthday party or overnight, based on the timeline. That he may have left her body somewhere, then came to the apartment to dump her school stuff in the dumpster to make sure it wasn't in the apartment and make it look like she went to school. And that when he is seen heading in the direction of the school at around 7:50 a.m., he was actually picking up her body. Because remember, they were on surveillance at 8:19. Also, if he went that way just to establish an alibi, then he really didn't take her to school, and the timing is way off. He went that way around 7:50, and school doesn't start until 9:30. But he picked up her body and came back to the complex, and like I said, the police saw the surveillance. And whatever they saw on that surveillance, they said she was not alive. I don't know what it was. There are no reports that she's seen prior to this morning, except Jennifer. There are reports that the surveillance cameras at one of the two entrances to this complex were not working. So there is a possibility that they just went the other way, and that's why they weren't seen. If he did return with her body at 8:19 and didn't leave until around 1, her body was in that car the whole time. There are no reports of him carrying her into the condo. Maybe he covered her up with something. I would think a cadaver dog would be able to hit on the car if that was the case, but I also haven't seen any reports of that either. I know they will keep things from the public as not to risk the investigation pre-trial, so there will likely be more that comes out then.
And, don't forget Jennifer's story that she saw her getting ready for school that morning at 8 a.m.
Right. How?
Exactly. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like she's sitting there saying this and then he's saying that, but they've got this.
But they have actual hardcore evidence saying that they're both lying.
So why hasn't she been arrested yet?
That's the number one question.
Okay.
Because the timelines they're fucked. They're
suspicious.
Not even close. And there is, sadly, there is news footage of Stefan sitting in a chair crying, and Jennifer is standing next to him, rubbing his back and consoling him. It is disgusting in hindsight. And if Jennifer was in the dark about the sexual abuse and his activity on the day she went missing, knowing all of that now, holy shit. But most people believe that she knows a lot more than she's letting on. Since Stefan's arrest, she has not talked. Not a word. I think she was seen once by somebody in the complex that said she came outside and then immediately went back in. And then think about Stefan, Jennifer, and her mom, all three talking about that video from the church across the street showing her walking towards the school at 9 a.m. Tell me how that happened too. There had to be someone else in a green sweatshirt, black shorts, and white Crocs, right? Because that's a pretty distinguishable outfit, even if it's a grainy video. Jennifer said that Stefan dropped Madeline off at school at about 8:40. Nope. According to that timeline, he was back at the apartment at 8:19 and didn't leave again until 1. He could not have dropped her off at 8:40. Also, she said he came and got her. So she woke up tired, remember? So he had to come to the apartment to pick her up to go to school because he didn't stay there the night before. So when did he show up to do that? At 7:30 when he was dumping her stuff in the dumpster?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's what I mean. It's just none of this is making any sense as far as their timelines and stuff.
Yeah, because how would he have gotten that stuff?
Mm-hmm. And who had the video of Madeline walking?
Supposedly, so there's right next to the school, there's a church, and then across the street from that church is another church. So he said he dropped her off at the church by the school, but the church across the street supposedly had video.
And what time was that? 9 o'clock?
9 o'clock. Well, that's what the three of them said. It was at 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock, and that's what's on supposed video.
According to them, the cops have never said a word about it.
Okay, and then the cops said that he seen her in the truck.
In the car, yeah.
And she did not look alive.
At 8:19. And then, like I said, he goes to the apartment at 8:19 and doesn't leave again until 1.
Yeah.
How in the world
could he's seen changing his tire on the side of the road.
Yeah. Exactly.
Gotcha.
See what I mean? Police said she left her phone at home that day. Another red flag. What 13-year-old does that? Maybe that was what she was digging in her backpack for. But there was reportedly a text sent to her friends the night before that she would rather live in the woods than at home. Eerily, if you believe that she was killed after the birthday party on Sunday night, that means Stefan likely sent that text and then the next morning left her body in the woods. And let's talk about the court docs. Remember that I read these documents so you don't have to. On this one, you all owe me a drink because, good Lord, reading through the 60 counts of horror that Maddie went through is disgusting. One thing that you will see is dates on these court reports, and they date back to 2019 when she was just 8 years old. And that makes some ask, why now? Why kill her now? There have been a lot of theories, but they all center around 3. 1, she was getting too old for his preferred age group. Some only like prepubescent. And a lot of his charges for the pictures and videos that were not he and Madeline show a child who is younger than the age of 5. So belief is that since she was out of his age range, it was easier to get rid of her before she could tell on him, since he had no use for her any longer. Number 2, she got pregnant. And this will be something that you could see in the autopsy. And as I mentioned, that will not be released, so we don't know if that's the case or not. And 3, the obvious. Either she threatened to tell, or speculation is that she already told her mom and her mom didn't believe her. But he freaked out and was worried that she might start believing Madeline, so he had to get rid of her before that happened. And I will say that reading the information, they say that there were items of clothing, things in the background like curtains, etc., that were in the pictures of Madeline and Stefan that they were able to collect from the condo. So it's definitely him. It's definitely her, and it's definitely in that house. Also, he has a distinguishable penis, I'll say that they were able to verify in person that matches the images on his phone.
Well, it sounds like they have him dead to rights on the abuse part.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And as far as the distinguishable features.
Yes.
So being a jailer, when I used to work in the jail,
right?
That was like my least favorite job. By the way.
Was penis check?
No, not that.
I was like, gross.
No, but like when people come in and everything, they'd have to strip down.
Yes.
Bend over and cough.
And if they have something like birthmarks or distinguishing features, you'd have to note them, correct?
Yep, exactly.
And that's what happened.
That was like the least favorite part of the job ever and everything.
Into the mind of the jailer.
So more than likely that's how they came across that.
Well, that's why I was saying that whenever I said they had him for sure, they have him for sure on these porn charges.
Well, my other thing is, too, is like they have him on surveillance dumping the backpack.
Right.
At the complex. So you mean the apartment complex?
Yeah, the condo where they lived, yeah.
How stupid are you?
When you look at the pictures of this condo, there's literally a freestanding pole
with a camera
pointing at the trash can. I mean, you could probably count what was inside there, how many bags was in it. It's that good. And then the other one points in the other direction so you could see when people came and went.
I mean, he might have done it and then waved at the camera and said, hey,
He might as well have.
Yeah, I'm Stefan.
It's not like you could miss them. They're literally on a freestanding pole. They're not hidden.
Yeah.
They're right there out in public. There's so many cameras at this complex. So many.
What an idiot.
Yeah, he was definitely dumb, which we're glad. We need more dumb ones like this.
Absolutely, because at least, he's caught and can't do this anymore because he's done it so much, apparently, without being caught.
Yeah, for at least 5 years. Yeah. Also, okay, so there is I don't know if it's an app or a website. I won't say the name of it on here because I won't help these fuckers do their dirty shit. But there is a platform, supposedly, that is used for some up and up things, I guess. But it is apparently popular with the sexual predators to upload pictures and videos on because you allegedly can't be tracked and it's encrypted. Either way, a podcaster investigated and found out that Stefan has an account on this platform, and it was last accessed on the 26th at 4:49. I didn't see anything that showed if it was 4 a.m. or 4 p.m., and I don't know if they do military time as they track it, but going on the speculation again, if it was 4 a.m., then what was he doing on there when many believe that he could have very well been killing Madeline around that time?
Well, so you said that he factory reset his phone.
He did.
Guarantee you he was uploading all his pictures.
Yeah, to save them.
Onto this website so that he could delete everything off his phone.
I concur.
Yeah.
They made a big deal about it, I think, kind of being like, did he tape what he did to her that night? And things like that. But I'm with you. I think that he was trying to basically back up his pictures and his videos to where he could reset his phone and it would stay over there almost like in a little cloud and he could access it whenever he wanted.
Jackass.
Nasty. One last thing and then we'll stop because there will be an update coming on this one. We just won't have answers to some of the questions without an approximate time of death. So more, like I said, more will come out in trial. Osceola Sheriff Lopez accidentally included one of the crime scene photos in a photo collage that news reports say was intended to showcase Sheriff Lopez's attendance at a community event for seniors. He posted the collage on social media.
What the fuck?
Yes, with the caption, "Great day with our seniors." And then he put a smiley emoji wearing a halo.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You got to be kidding me.
No. So it was on his phone and he wasn't paying attention when he was just clicking through pictures to add to the collage, to like the montage, I guess is what it would be. And it got uploaded and it was taken down pretty quick, but
still wasn't quick enough.
People were able to screenshot it. Yes.
I see stupid stuff all the time on the internet and everything.
Yes.
And I already know it's going to get deleted. So I
before this goes away.
Just do a little click. Yep. Yeah. And I mean, sure enough, as soon as you click it, it's gone.
Yep.
It's just, God, people are dumb.
That's tough. I mean, he's the sheriff. This wasn't like a deputy or something like that. This was the sheriff.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to screen these people's posts before they post them.
And you said it was off his personal cell phone?
Yes, it's on his personal cell phone. Yeah.
Good job. We got another one that has, does shit off his personal cell phone instead of, the state-issued equipment. Perfect.
Now, the sheriff's office said a post was made on social media about a community event for seniors. In the post, an investigative photo was accidentally included. The photo was immediately removed. We deeply apologize for any confusion or disturbance this may have caused. As with any investigation, the information obtained is confidential and any mistaken disclosures will be immediately rectified. Okay? So always watch your videos, y'all. Look at your pictures. Reread your texts before posting on social media. Like I said, it was screenshotted, and then there were some news reports that were like, we've seen the picture, but we choose not to share it. Yay for you. You shouldn't. Why would you?
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole thing. It's just, but there is some out there that are like, well, this sheriff's a jackass. So, they just plaster it onto the fucking news just to show them.
To get likes and stuff.
Just to get their people's attention, what I mean? It's just.
Luckily, it hasn't been leaked, though, is what I'm getting at. I'm really glad that people are not being like, oh, I can totally, look, I've got something you don't have. I don't want that to happen because they told what the picture was. And if this was my child, no. If this was anybody I know, no. If this is anybody, period, no. This is just not something that should be out there. And maybe make a folder, Maybe a folder of work stuff and
whatever.
personal stuff.
Maybe not have it on your fucking personal phone.
Well, Listen, some said it was his personal phone. I don't know what else it would be on.
It doesn't matter. I mean, if there's a big difference.
Yeah.
You do not have crime investigation stuff on your personal phone or even a work phone.
Right. But what I'm saying is I don't know if it 100% was on his phone or if it was possibly on a camera. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying some reported it was his phone.
I'm betting anything it was his damn phone.
Allegedly. Don't sue us.
Because if it was a camera, you would go through there and you would select each photo.
Well, if you were, you'd have to.
You'd have to.
You'd have to hook it to your computer.
Yep.
They'd select all pop the images.
And everything else. But if it was posted through social media, you just go in there and you just do.
Right.
And everything else. Unless you sit there and look over your photos, like what we do when we post stuff for like Country Boys Smoke Q.
Plug.
Anyway, I make the post.
Yes.
I put the pictures.
True.
I hand it to you.
You do.
Because you correct my grammar because of, of that kind of, because I can't read.
He redneck. He can read. He just redneck. He don't know what commas are.
But anyway, she looks at all the photos. She makes sure everything's all on the up and up. I mean, who wants somebody pissed off at you for something stupid? For something that could be, what's the word?
I don't know. This is your story, not mine.
For something that could be avoided.
Avoided, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and then when you have something like this that's very sensitive, very, very, very sensitive, and it's an ongoing investigation, so you risk ruining that investigation, you need to really be watching your shit.
Exactly.
Ugh. So, like I said, we will definitely come back and update this one, hopefully this summer. Things seem to be moving pretty quickly, and that's great because the wheels of justice turn really slow here in Oklahoma. So it'd be years before he got a trial here. But here, it's just literally a couple months in the summer. So hopefully we'll have some kind of answers and see what's going on because this poor girl, she needs justice.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you or someone you know has been the victim of sexual abuse, text the word strength to 741-741. If you suspect child abuse, call the Child Help National Child Abuse Hotline at 800-4A-CHILD or go to www.childhelp.org.
All right, well, that's it for this one. Now, don't forget to go and check us out on Facebook where we post pictures. And make sure you like, subscribe, share, follow. Hit that little bell to get the notifications on the new episodes that drop.
Tell your friends.
All right, see you guys on the next one.
Bye.